So from time to time, we have seen that the Gen Zs have been on the streets rejecting the finance bill for the financial year 2024-2025. This is because the finance bill 2024-2025 seeks to raise revenue amounting to 311 billion Kenya shillings. So the Gen Zs are opposing it. Some of them in the medical sector are opposing it simply because the government has been raising revenues annually. 2023, 2024, it has been raising revenue, but you have not seen reciprocation of the revenue. Currently, as we are speaking, doctors have been on strike for 56 days. They were on strike, and the strike ended on 8th May. And the reason why the doctors were on strike is because the government had failed to implement their CBA 2017 that was legalized. And it was signed by both the government and the doctors' union, KMPDU, and deposited in the Labour's Court, ELRC. So it became a legal document. But the government has rejected it. It has ignored it. It has failed to implement the CBA 2017. On the other hand, it is raising revenues, which will see doctors actually paying for those revenues. But what is aching the Gen Zs, especially those in the medical sector, is the fact that this government is raising revenue, yes, but it is not ensuring that CBAs are in continuity. So it is raising revenue that you pay more taxes, but it is slashing the allowances of doctors by 91%. 91%. That is staggering. If you consider that the government has increased the capacities of hospitals. Currently, as we're talking, hospitals have capacities like 500, 750. National hospitals have even a capacity of 1,000 beds. So the labor is increasing exponentially, but the pay is decreasing significantly. So those are some of the things that are making the Gen Zs to go on the street. The Gen Zs want assurance. That is what they want. They want assurance for tomorrow. They want reciprocation. As we have seen, the government has been introducing posts such as the Chief Administrative Secretary post that was recently quashed by courts, but the government has forced it through. And that will mean that they will get more pay. They're even being paid more than some of the people in parliament. Interestingly. So the issue is that the government is raising taxes, but we are not seeing jobs being created for the youth. We are not seeing projects that are meant for the youths, and that's why the youths are rejecting the taxes. I've told you personally from the people who are in the health sector, they find it shocking because the taxes are being introduced, but the pay for the doctors is being reduced significantly. The same case to their CBAs. I've never seen a CBA of the elderly people being reduced, allowances being reduced by 91%. Show me one where pay has been reduced by 91%. But you see, this CBA for 2017 is involving the Gen Zs. The allowances have been reduced by 91%. And as we are talking, the CBA is a legal document. It followed all the procedures. If it is involving the SRC, it involved the SRC. If it is involving the Ministry of Health, it involved the Ministry of Health. If it is being deposited in court, it was deposited in court. But the government is neglecting it. But on the other hand, it is raising revenues and telling Kenyans that they have to pay for those revenues. So when you see Gen Zs out there, they know what they're campaigning for. They know, they're well equipped with the information. It's because of uncertainty. That is the reason why they're neglecting and rejecting the finance bill. They're rejecting it because of uncertainty. The future is not a guarantee. They need implementation, immediate implementation. Since 2022, we are in 2024. We need implementation. We need to see if Kenyans are paying taxes. We need to see it being reciprocated in terms of jobs being created and works and terms of employment being improved. Until that, Kenyans are not satisfied, especially the Gen Zs. They will not be satisfied because as we are talking right now, there are very many students graduating from med school. They still want jobs. And of course, if your taxes are increasing, then your pay has to be good so that you can be able to pay those taxes. Otherwise, some might run out into depression and trauma. So the best thing is for the government has to respect the CBS. It has to honor CBS that are legal, and it has to prove, as much as it's taxing Kenyans, then it has to show for it. Otherwise, you'll be seeing people demonstrating in the streets. And of course, the government will be complaining that specific people are financing those mandamanos, which is false. Those are Kenyans who are touched. The same case, the government is also misleading Kenyans that if the finance bill is rejected, then the government will be overthrown. That is false. If the finance bill is rejected, the status quo remains, whereby the government continues collecting revenue using the same procedures that it was collecting. So the government has to take responsibility and know that people are not satisfied with their services. It has to reciprocate. If it is taxing Kenyans, then create jobs for Kenyans. They will pay the taxes. Otherwise, taxing Kenyans and slashing allowances of the Gen Zs by 91% is uncalled for.